So welcome back to another talk through video edition. It is so nice to be here to be doing this for y'all once again. But this time around I am doing some knotless braids. Yes, shout outs to us girls who can do this because this requires a lot of patience. Keyword a lot. But all jokes aside, I am literally taking my time. So before I went in with that first piece of hair, of braiding hair, I'm gonna eventually like let y'all know what I used and whatnot. I braided my hair down a bit and then I gradually just started to add the hair. Like I'm feeding in the hair. Um, Let me know in the comments if you want to see a more in-depth video of me doing my knotless braids. I started doing my knotless braids, I want to say it was last year, yeah. When we had our initial lockdown. But with that time period that we had, like being at home, I was like, you know what? Let me figure out how to do this whole knotless situation and not spend $200+ on braiding my hair. So I've already applied my jam in my hair. That's something that I prefer to use when I'm braiding my hair or any like braid style. This one in particular, I like using the jam. It feels nice in my hair. Um, but yeah, I'm just taking my time. This time around, when I did my knotless, I wanted them to look a lot sleeker, a lot neater, so they're a lot smaller. And I only used 3 strands of the braiding hair. I know it sounds crazy. Some people use 4 to 5. I like a smaller knotless braid only because I feel like it looks a lot fuller. Again, use your discretion. You use as many strands as you need to. But yeah, like I enjoy braiding my hair. Now that I think about how long it took me to do this, I want to say I started on Friday and I finished that next day. Yeah, so I made sure nothing else was happening on Saturday, thankfully. But yeah, this is my preferred type of braiding hair. I'll put it in like the description box down below. Yeah, shout outs to the piece of hair that did not want to stay in. But I'll put it in the description box, the type of hair that I use. Yeah, so whenever I'm doing knotless braids, and this is something that I've learned over time, I don't like to spend too much time braiding the entire braid. Yes, your girl was so hype. Okay. Um, yeah, when I started to see like the look, and I haven't had braids. Go ahead, girl. I haven't had braids in a while. So, but yeah, I'm just showing you like how I go about taking the strands of hair that I use. So like that's about how much I use in that particular piece. But for the most part, shout outs to these 2 braids that's on the back of my head because clearly your girl did not edit this part. But it's all good. Like I'll eventually come back into the mirror and start braiding my hair. I'm just separating the strands of hair that I need versus the strands of hair that I don't need to use in the moment. Um, but yeah, I primarily use, I want to say, I'm not going to really give you a number because you use your discretion, honestly. I use as much for thickness. I didn't want the braid itself to look crazy thick. I wanted a relatively small knotless braid. So, you make a good estimate as to how much you need for your braid. I'm just putting away those treacherous pieces of braids for now with some rubber bands, just securing them down just so that I could see how the braids are looking and whatnot. I prefer having knotless braids only because I feel like, one, I feel like it's such an effortless style, and two, it's such a it's such an easy style to play around with because again you're not manipulating your scalp too much. Yeah, I had like 2 pieces left to do in the front and I was so hype about it, y'all. But if you hadn't noticed, I don't primarily put braids on my edges because that's something that I really want to take more care of. Let me know in the comments as well if you would like to see a video on all things edge talk and what I like to use to really keep my edges thriving for the most part. Yeah, that's about how much I use when I start doing the braiding, well, the feed-in method. My hair is relatively, it's thick, but it's not, oh my gosh, she has like super dense hair. Like, no. I like to use as much braiding hair as I can, but in the same breath, I need it to mimic my, I guess, thickness of hair, if that makes sense. If you know, you know. But yeah, like that's relatively the thickness of the strand that I'm using. Again, I'm showing you as best as I can. You know, there's so many videos out there with people braiding their hair. Again, I want to come back with a video where I go in a much deeper context, like I go more in depth with how I go about braiding my hair, excuse me. But yeah, I just wanted to relatively show you like when I'm using the product in the braiding hair, when I feel like my hair is feeling too dry, like I did just then. I took like some more jam, and even as I'm braiding down my hair, I want to make sure that my hair and the braiding hair is coated with the jam so that the braiding process is a lot smoother on my finger, excuse me, because that friction, y'all, for those of you who braid and that friction, hello, it feels like you are starting a fire. But yeah, I like using the jam. You see, I'm like, my fingers are gliding down the braid itself now. And yeah, I think it's a super easy style to do once you get the hang of it. Again, it's trial and error because my braids were not looking like this when I started to do the knotless braids, especially at the base of my hair. But yeah, as I said, I enjoy doing this hairstyle, and yeah, let me know down below in the comments if you enjoy getting knotless braids or if you know how to do it, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Because guess who finally decided to put some braids in? Like, who is she? Talk to me nice if you want your braids done. Because I did that. Like,